Let's now cut across live to the India Today Conclave, where futurist Stefan Hyttfors is speaking at this moment.
I'm here in India, and I have an MBA. If you're interested in some help, you can just call me, and we can start to do business straight away. This started already in 2001 with Wikipedia. You remember Wikipedia? This was a silly idea from the beginning. So people are going to, actually ordinary people are going to write encyclopedias. It's a stupid idea. Do you realize how much errors and problems we will have? Eventually it turned out, no. Crowdsourcing is the best way to organize any task in society. Because if many people are involved, they are not only going to write articles, they are also going to write wrongs and errors. So what we see with digitalization is not only dematerialization and demonetization, we also see the most interesting trend, I think, is decentralization. We have seen crowdfunding, we have seen crowdsourcing, open source, peer-to-peer business, everything like this just started. And this actually, of course, means decentralization. The word itself means that we don't necessarily, in this organization chart, we don't need a boss. We used to do everything in hierarchy, but not necessarily anymore. I live in Sweden. Sweden is part of Europe. Europe is referred to. We like to call ourselves a rich nation. This is a wealthy part of the world, and just like Japan and the United States. But I guess you have heard that last couple of years, last decade actually, we had some serious problems with growth, and our economy is in constant crisis all the time. It seems like the cure we are posing is also making the problem even worse, because we actually, right now in Sweden we are at 0 interest rate, but all of these regions are at 0 interest rate policies. And this is a new thing. We have centralized banking just because we want to impose control. So it's very important for anyone with the currencies to have control. So to keep control over the currency, we have central banking, so central authority, we have a boss. And this boss have a new idea. When the economy is not growing anymore, we lower the interest rate to stimulate. So we lowered and we went down to 0. And as I said, in Sweden, it's even minus. So in my country, it's hardly impossible to get rid of money. It's like, no, you take care of the money, that's your problem. I don't want any money. You actually get paid to borrow. So that's kind of a... So this is a strange thing. So they start to ask these central bankers, so what does this actually mean? 0 interest rate policy. Where will this take us? What's going to happen in the future? And they all said the same thing. Well, we don't know. We never tried it before. So that's actually just saying we lost control. We have no idea. And this is kind of a problem, because right now, as you know, interest rates are the way we price risk. And now the risk pricing mechanism in my part of the world is gone. To the left here you have Mario Draghi. He's the head of the European Central Bank. And it's a week ago now. They had one more meeting. And it's always the same solution they come up with. Now we're going to stimulate not only with 0% interest rates. Now the new idea is we're going to borrow from the future. We're going to borrow growth from the future. So actually right now in the European Union we're borrowing 80 billion euros a month to create growth, borrowing growth from the future. And at the same time we see that this is not doing any good for the people on the street. They have a saying in the USA, if Wall Street does better than Main Street, we have a problem. And right now Wall Street is pretty much the only one doing good. The rest of them are having a hard time. So in America, for instance, 45 million people are defined as poor in the USA. So the trend is going the wrong way all of a sudden. 45 million people below $1,000 to live on each month. And then you know what happens. This is not only a problem to the poor people, because they start to vote for guys with funny hairstyles and everything. You know that, yeah. So, but I think that when we talk about 2008 and Lehman Brothers and the financial crisis in the Western world, we will not talk about the crisis in just 10 years' time. When we talk about 2008, we will talk about someone called Satoshi Nakamoto. We don't know if it's a person. We don't know anything about Satoshi. The only thing we know is that someone calling him or her or the group itself, they published a white paper on the internet where they described how we could actually create
Breaking news coming in this afternoon. Bomb scare at the Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi. Threat to Air India. Nepal Airlines flight. All on board 2 flights have been detained. There's check.
So this time it's going to be me who's going to be talking to you.
It's going to be me who's going to tell you what's new from the world of technology. We have news, we have reviews, and we have Sahil doing the Redmi Note 3 review. And